guys, welcome back to the channel. It is May 2nd, opening day of turkey season. I am back up at the farm where I shot my bird last year. Jake and Miles are actually headed down the other side of the field. They're going to go sit in the same exact little brush blind where I shot my bird last year, and I'm going to go sit up at the top of the field. There's just kind of a big patch of bushes right up at the top of this field, and I'm just going to go sit in that and get set up. I've come down here the other day, and there was quite a few birds out in the field, so, which is usually the case in this spot. They're usually hanging out in this field pretty much all day long, so hopefully somebody can get it done this morning. I think we're all going to be in pretty good spots. The boys will definitely be in a good spot. I'm going to be kind of exposed, but hopefully I can stay still long enough to get the birds out in front of me. Just doubled up. Hell yeah. talking about. That's a big boy right there too. That happened totally opposite of what I was hoping for, but that's all right. I was really kind of hoping those birds were going to come around this pile of bushes I was sitting in. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but there's just like this whole field, and just is probably 30 yards across, maybe 20 yards. This little patch of bushes I was sitting in, and I had my decoys set. I don't know if I can find them here. My decoys out there, and I was kind of hoping, I knew these birds were roosting over on this east side of the field, so I was kind of hoping they were going to come around the front side of me, and of course they circled right up behind me, and there was actually another gobbler in the field next door, but it sounded like he was headed down away from me. He sounded like he was coming up the field toward me, but then I heard him gobble a couple times, and it sounded like he was getting further and further away. Jake and Miles are sitting right down there, little spot that I made in those pine trees. That's awesome. I just tagged out early, which is awesome because I only have 2 weeks of turkey season this year, because the wife and I are headed down to the Keys for the last 2 weeks of May to go fishing. So, but that's awesome. I just tagged out, so now I can concentrate on getting the boys' bird. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the first time I've ever doubled up on turkeys, especially on opening morning. Not the biggest birds, but they'll do for sure. Decent beards on them. There's tail on that one. That's awesome. I'm tagged out for the season, which is cool. Like I said, I only have two weeks to hunt this year, and it only took about 30 minutes. So now I can concentrate on getting the boys their birds, and I think my wife wants to try to turkey hunt this year, so I might take her and a friend of hers out and see if we can get them on some birds too. But we're gonna wrap this show up and maybe stay on this property, and we might move out into the woods and see if we can get back on the rest of those birds. Alright, well the boys and I got my 2 birds back to the truck. We're going to hold off on taking them to the tagging station. We decided to walk right back out here. Jake was actually bow hunting this morning, or had his bow with him, because we only have one shotgun that will take 3-inch shells. So now that I'm tagged out, Jake's got the shotgun, both the boys have shotguns. We're going to head out on this hardwood ridge. Those birds that came in after I shot my 2 kind of headed into the woods and looked like they headed south down this ridge, so we're going to get down here and do some calling and see if we can get back on those birds. Nice deer tracks. Alright, well the boys and I got back here on the ridge. We're sitting right off the edge of this tote road. Been doing a little bit of calling, but haven't heard any response, so we're going to hang out and do some more calling and just chill here for a while, and hopefully these birds will come back up over the ridge. Somebody next door was shooting. I don't think they were shooting at turkeys. I think they were just shooting, probably it let off about a dozen rounds. So hopefully, and that was kind of the direction those birds went in, so hopefully that'll kind of push them back up this way for us. Alright, well, the boys and I have been sitting out here on this ridge for a while calling now. We're probably 150 yards off the back of the field that we were sitting in this morning. But we haven't really, birds pretty much went silent. We thought we heard one gobble back towards the field, so I think we're going to sneak back in that direction and see if we can get up on the edge of the field and see if there's any birds back out in there. And if there are, we're going to try to make a move on them. If not, we might go check a few other spots and see if we can get on some different birds. Been pretty hectic around here this morning, so might have to try something else. Alright, well, the boys and I snuck back up to the field here, and we thought we heard a bird gobble up here, but we get up here and there's no birds around that I can see. And it sounds like they went quiet for the most part. I just got a message from Chuck and he said the same thing. He said all the birds just shut right up where he is, so I think we're gonna go tag these two that I shot and probably ride around and check some other spots, see if we can get the boys on some birds. Alright, well, the boys and I just left the tagging station, got my birds taken care of. And the first field we drove by, there's 6 or 7 birds out there, and we just heard them hammering up the hill here, so we parked down the road. We're going to walk up the road a little bit here and then cut into the woods and try to sneak up on the edge of this field. They might just be jakes, but the boys aren't going to be picky today. I think these birds are hung up on the other side of the stone wall in the field, and they just won't come over that wall. But they're up closer to the road where we came from. We actually kind of like went by them, and they kind of headed for the road as we were headed away from the road. So I think what we're going to do is try to sneak up a little further towards the back end of this field and get up closer to the stone wall and try to call them back down the stone wall so we can get a shot on them. Because I just don't think they're going to cross that stone wall. They've been over there hammering every time I make a noise, but they just won't come down here. Alright, well, we just snuck down to the back end of the field, and I didn't realize it, but the boys could see those birds. I guess they did hop over the stone wall and down onto the wood line, which I didn't realize. I thought they were hung up in the field and wouldn't come over the wall. If I'd known that, I probably would have just stayed put where we were. But they went quiet all of a sudden. I thought maybe they went across the road into another field across the road, but I'm thinking now the boys told me if they were actually down on the wood line, I think they might have gone down the hill into the woods. But we're going to get out of here and either try to get back on these birds or go try to find another spot. They just shut right up all of a sudden, so I don't know what happened, but see what we can do, I guess. Alright, well, the boys and I went back to the house, got something to eat. Attempted to take a little nap, which didn't really happen for me, but we were gonna go back to the same field we were in this morning, but we figured we'd give those birds a rest. Where I already killed 2 of them, and we decided to come to a different spot. We're actually going to be pretty close to where we got on that second group of birds that were hammering at us, and they just all of a sudden went silent. But we're going to get really close to that field and another set of fields, and hopefully we can get back on some birds before the sun goes down. It's about 4:30 right now, so we've got 3.5, 4 hours of daylight, so see if we can make something happen. I guess that's going to be a wrap on opening day turkey season. We had 2 hens and 7 deer come through the field, and then it kind of got cloudy this afternoon and the wind picked up a little bit. But it's getting kind of dark now, so we are going to get out of here and probably get back after it Saturday anyway. I don't know if we're going to get any time to hunt this week, but we will definitely be back at it on Saturday. Get caught up in the branches. And if you guys haven't done it yet, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.